morning musings from the tiny little studio on this tiny little Greek island. And today I am going to do a short one, I'm sure, because my daughter just came home 10 minutes ago. And I'm excited to go out and spend some time in this beautiful sunshine, this beautiful morning. Spring is not officially here, but I think nature is saying I am officially here. And the weather has been spectacular. So in today's plans in my studio is, I think, kind of a cleanup, a little bit of tidying up, of putting things back in order. When you have this small space, you kind of have to get rid of all the extras, because the extras become a burden in this tiny little studio. And it's the concept of minimalism at its best, I think, because when you begin in this tiny studio to release all the clutter, all that extra stuff that you really find you don't need. It may be there, you may want it, you may desire it, it may be something that frustrates you or brings you anger because you don't have it. But in the end, when you're able to release and let go and allow things as they are and to love your life as it is today, if you can't get to that place, it's hard to really become that clear-headed, limited palette type person. And for me, that has been a very, very powerful lesson to not only use a limited palette for my paintings, but to become that limited palette within myself by releasing and getting rid of everything that I can find that doesn't need to be there. And how do you know if something needs to be there or not? The number one question to ask yourself is, does this behavior serve me? And do I love this behavior about me, or this character trait about me? Or do I love this thought? If the thought brings you from, on the emotional scale, right? There are these emotional frequency scales. You can Google that and look it up, and it has like all the different levels of your emotional state, the frequencies, and where they are. So if you have a shame thought, am I reconnected? If you have a shame thought or a guilt thought that doesn't serve you, they usually don't, unless you can turn it into a personal lesson, something that you can use to help move you forwards and upwards and outwards into a greater life, into a greater expression of who you are. Get rid of it, right? Declutter, throw it out. And it's a beautiful practice. It's living the limited palette. That's what I'll title this morning musings, living your limited palette. and just focusing on what makes you smile, what makes you feel good, what, floats your boat, as they say. And it's not that difficult to do, in fact. And the thing is, because I went through this, right? You feel like, oh, can I let go of that? What if I need it later on? Well, maybe, but if you do need it or desire it later on, you can always get it back. And the thing that I have found is even the pretty decent thoughts that I've had that I decided to let go of, or the pretty, I don't know, socially acceptable behaviors that I did for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Some of it can be useful and you can keep it, and some of it you can let go of and re-establish it, like how you approach certain people in your world, in your life, people that maybe don't vibe with you or you don't vibe with them. And, holding on to the social construct, which I think can be important and valuable and honorable behaviors, as long as there's no detriment to your personal space. So, I mean, those are some of the more difficult gray areas of your personal limited palette. But the lesson is basically the same. I'll come into my studio, I will clean up, I will get rid of what I don't need, and just create more space, because when there's too much stuff in here, there's not enough space. And when there isn't space, your creativity hasn't got much room to flow through and move in and dance and play with you. We're always tripping over stuff. So with that, I am going to go enjoy my family today. Oh, hello, Corby. I was wondering where you were. I'm going to go and enjoy my family and the reconnection that we're having, and then come back in and clean up the tiny little studio and put things back in order, sign my painting, put that aside to dry, and begin something new. Corby, I think I will be doing for next week, since you're here listening, and for Brazen, who will listen later today, we'll be going in and doing the next stage of the seascape that I want to bring you through my full thought process from the beginning to end of a painting. And so that will be coming for next week. I am going to take the weekend off, like I mentioned in the beginning of the week, and I will be back on Monday. At least I believe so. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good, but who knows if I'm in the studio and I am called to come because there's something important I want to say. Yeah, but I will say the plan is on Monday. So anyways, with that, you guys have a beautiful day. It is gorgeous here in Greece on this tiny little Greek island. The sun is gloriously shining down, and the flowers are out. The sounds are coming in. Different birds are beginning to show up, and it's just lovely. It's lovely. So with that, be inspired, be creative, be you.